Oh,
I already switched over.
it was fine. I just tweeted my link and not our link. It's fine. Everything's fine.
It's okay. Hello and welcome to DCP SideQuest episode number 69.
69. Is that an eggplant?
This is an eggplant. This is the one the Pope gave me. My camera's not focusing.
We keep Pope Bear around as an eggplant.
Pope
in our
Bear.
hearts.
Reincarnated as an eggplant.
Yeah. You can grow your own Pope Bear in the ground and harvest it.
Yeah.
Harvesting Pope Bears.
Yeah.
Episode 69, man. What's that? That's over a year.
That is.
I mean, we've kind of been doing side quests for a long time in different forms. Like we started and stopped, and then we started again. And
we had a couple false starts, right?
Well, yeah,
we did.
Yeah.
I mean, we didn't even come up with the name until probably episode 10 or
We're
something.
like DCP, another podcast.
DCP Gaming podcast.
I think on YouTube it's under the off-topic playlist.
Oh yeah, off topic. I think that's what it was. Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like it's a milestone, even though it's only because of perverted reasons.
Yeah, it's a special number.
Yeah, it is a special number.
Yeah. We're gonna talk about some, I guess, like band stuff on Twitch.
So I had this idea, and we had this idea. We thought it'd be really fun, right? We go through some band games on Twitch. There's probably some silly ones in there that maybe they're not super good for all audiences, but they're probably kind of funny. And those definitely exist. But as I was doing research, the vast majority of the games are very obvious why they are banned. Very obvious.
Horrific.
I'll just throw out a name. Ethnic cleansing. That's pretty bad. You don't want that.
That's bad.
Touchy subject.
Fun fact, created by a white supremacist group.
No kidding.
Wow.
No,
Surprise.
That's bad. Who would have thought? Also, there's things such as battle rape. I think even in the title, I don't think you could even put that title on Twitch.
Is this
in a game category?
Is this a battle royale by any chance?
I actually didn't look up battle rape. I was like, I think I get why.
You saw the title and you're like, I've seen enough. Okay.
I've seen enough.
I did watch some gameplay of some games that were not obvious because there's things like artificial girl, which I'm like, what does that even mean? There's things like Sakura fantasy. A lot of these are kind of the visual novel style where you're dating them, but you just go a bit further.
They go a bit too far.
They go, but then there's some that are definitely more than just your average dating simulator.
I used to do a podcast, and one of the hosts, Gary Diaz, had gotten a couple of those visual novel games, and one of them one of the like special like collector's edition bonuses was a pair of panties.
Nice. That's
in the box.
Wow.
That's good.
Did he get the special edition?
Oh, he got it. Yes, he did.
He bought
the special edition.
He bought the special edition. He wanted them panties.
Oh my god.
But I tell you, there are some games that are pretty fun. And one I would love to see Tefty play. And I think all of Tefty's audience would agree that they would love to see this. And this is Porno Studio Tycoon.
Porno Studio Tycoon?
It's a tycoon game where you make a porn studio.
You just, you're trying to make some profit, Just depends on what business you're in, right?
And honestly,
is it like a park simulator where you got to set up the different
attractions?
Sounds like it. Like you put the bed over here, the camera here.
It is. You have employees. You get to pick which porn stars you want to be in your scene. So you set up the whole scene. You set up like the background and props that are going to be used.
The goal is to produce S-tier porn and then get as big as possible in the porndom, right?
Yes. Honestly, it doesn't look that bad. A lot of these games, like it's very obvious. You're like touching girls on trains. You probably don't want to do that. Or stalking people and breaking into their house and doing very bad things to people. But Porno Studio Tycoon does not look that bad. You can set it up to where you have break segments.
What
so you can
segments?
talk about what's breaks.
breaks.
Big breaks during the scene. You can set that there is going to be foreplay or no foreplay.
You get
so
to
you're
curate
like
the
you're
content.
you're actually designing the movie itself. You're not just designing the studio.
You're a
doing
porno
everything.
tycoon. Come on.
Yeah,
Of course
as
you're
long
gonna
Any
as
have
video
tycoon.
editing? I'm very good at editing.
You get to go
There's
through
like
job resumes.
a pacing slider. What's your pacing on the cuts? You know.
Yeah. What transitions are we going to use between scenes? You know,
Are we gonna bring a drone in?
nice Star Wars wipe.
You can choose to hire amateurs or professionals. It actually looks
Ooh.
like a pretty fun game. I'm not gonna lie.
Huh.
It's from what I can see, it's a lot of
Honestly-
spreadsheets and
Honestly,
You're
like
losing me.
that.
You're
That
losing
actually.
me.
That actually does sound interesting, like the whole tycoon stuff. You know.
Yeah, it's all so the way that they do the actual sex scenes is there'll be like a picture of a popsicle and then there'll be a picture of a mouth and they will just move around. But nothing actually happens. You don't see any nudity, you don't see any bad stuff really. It's just
So do they ban it because it's being a porn tycoon?
because it's I guess so.
When
And
there's
this is
no
the thing
porn
that
in
was
there?
also very sad when researching this is that Twitch doesn't actually give reasoning for why it's banned. They just have a list of prohibited games. They don't say what it's about, why it got banned, when it got banned. There's nothing. They don't even inform the developers that their game has been banned. The only way that if you're a developer and you're creating risque content, you're just going to have to refresh the list of prohibited games. See
Wow.
if you're on there.
What
Weird.
happens if somebody streams this? They get banned, right?
I'm pretty sure you just get banned.
Yeah, it's either a ban or a penalty or like a temporary ban or something like that. Yeah.
Especially because they have a list.
Yeah.
I wonder how many of the games are banned on Twitch, but are like you can watch footage on YouTube.
I've watched quite a few on YouTube.
Yeah.
During the research. Yeah. It's you probably just can't get monetized for it.
Right.
But the videos are still there. And a lot of these games came out in 2006, 2008. So they've been on YouTube for quite a long time.
Oh, so even an old computer could play them.
Yeah. You can play it on your maybe there's a mobile version even.
Yeah, was there a mobile porn tycoon?
All right. Watts, I think you should come up with 3 of the best ones that aren't like, super bad. And then describe them to us and then we'll try and come up with the names.
Okay.
Okay.
So there's one that is definitely more on the fun side where you have to jerk off without getting caught.
Oh.
Is
What
it
do
like
you
a public
think?
thing? Public indecency?
takes place
Masturbation
in-
mansion.
Let's see.
It's not bad. It is another.
Whack-a-mole.
It is inside a house. No, but that's great. I do like that one. That one's great. That is good. That's good. So it takes place within a house. It's not outside. You're in your own home.
Come and
you're
go.
No. You're trying to not get caught by the people that live in the house with you. So family members, mom, dad, sister,
Oh, okay.
pets.
So you
Pets
live
also
in this
count.
house.
You live in the house.
You can't get caught by the pet?
You can't get caught by the cat walks in. You got to pick up the cat, take the cat out. There's also multiple stages. You can be in bed. You can be at your computer.
Oh. Is the computer like in a public area or is it in your bedroom?
It's in your bedroom.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Do you have to earn resources to then spend on a lock for the door?
There's no resources. I will say there is. You are covering yourself with a blanket, so you don't actually see any penile action. You just see a blanket.
Strange game. Oh my gosh.
Any name? Could you think of any names
Mystery spank.
to do with the blanket?
To
No.
do with the blanket.
To do with the blanket.
Undercover? Something like that?
You're kinda
Undercover
getting-
masturbator?
Undercover masturbator. These are all great names. Someone should write these
Masturbation
down.
Simulator 2020?
Spank blanket. I just saw that.
Blanket, blanket.
Spankin'
That is
blanket.
great.
That's the winner
All
right
these
there.
names are actually better than the name of the actual game. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay, what's the name of the actual game?
What's under your blanket? Exclamation mark, question mark.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's pretty lame, isn't it?
I'd
not
go
a-
with
These
Spankin'
names are
blanket.
so much better. Spank blanket's like phenomenal. That would get some like clicks right there. Spank a Blanket.
Yeah.
What's that?
Spank
game?
it, Spank it
Gotta
Blanket.
see what this is all about.
That's what I'm saying. I see some of these and I'm like, well, what are they? I don't know. I don't know what they are.
Never name anything until you ask chat first.
Yo, that might be the title, by the way. Spank It Blanket.
Spank It Blanket.
I do like the names. Spank It Blanket. It's good. I can't. All of these, the description is the exact same.
Is it?
It's the exact same game.
It's the same
So
game.
you're masturbating and you're trying not to get caught.
So you're in a house with a bunch of girls and you have to touch them respectfully. Definitely.
Respectful touching.
Respectfully.
Respectful touching. Yeah.
Call it Milady.
Lady Marmalade.
If it helps, you can actually, there is character customization, but not for the character that you are. For the girls that are in the house, you get to create.
Right.
Customize.
You create a loadout for your house.
Incel dormitory.
No, it's a really boring name. And all of the fun, well, I say fun is probably the wrong word. All of the fun names, I don't know if we want to describe in detail. It's called Artificial Girl.
Artificial Girl. Oh man, I would not have guessed that description.
I
If
know.
you had told me the name of the game, I would have gone Real Doll like right away.
Man,
I
that
got
just
a
doesn't
little one of these.
describe. That's so weird.
Oops.
Oh, camera's gone.
No, it's fine. We're
Double,
fine. Everything's
double
fine.
Tefty in there.
Everything's fine.
The groper.
Yeah, so there's some that initially probably wouldn't have ended up on this list when they first came out, but now definitely are, like Second Life. You guys know about Second Life?
Oh yes, that was the
Yeah.
online game.
Yeah.
Yeah, initially it was a game where people kind of just had the Second Life, right? They would get a house.
It was on
and
The
hang out
Office.
at
Remember?
bars.
There was an episode of Dwight getting a Second Life, and then he wanted to start a Second Life in Second Life.
I think Al Gore campaigned on Second Life.
Wow.
You can do. That's the thing. The game is.
Wow.
It is just an alternate reality, but now a lot of people use it to create very realistic porn. So
It's
now
still
it's
around?
banned. Yeah.
Oh,
It's
shit.
still
People
around.
use it for Patreon
What was
or
that?
like OnlyFans. People create content for Patreon and OnlyFans in Second Life.
For their Second Life porno?
Oh,
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
is so weird. I had no idea.
It's
can
a
you
whole
do virtual
second-
reality in Second Life now? I wonder
Oh,
if
probably.
you can walk around and see those flying dicks and like they're real,
Like
like the
Real
future you
dick.
always dreamed of.
I wanted to know. Oh, this was the one. Okay. So this was the game that there was actually there's a developer called Robert Yang who makes a lot of risky gay porn video games.
Okay.
And there was an interview with him about his prohibited games, and he was like, they don't tell me why it's banned. Now looking up the website for the game, it's called Cobra Club.
The Cobra
Cobra Clump.
Cobra Club.
Club.
Oh, club. Oh, okay.
Club, yes.
Okay.
It's a free photo studio game about body image, privacy, and dick pics. Is how
Dick
it is
pics.
described.
I'm guessing
Dick
it's
pics.
that last part. That
It's the part where you spend time creating the perfect pubic hair.
Are you trying to
length,
achieve
width.
the Cobra?
Yeah, yeah.
this
You're
just
trying to
sounds like
take
how
the
I
best
spent all my
Cobra
time
picture.
in Conan: Age of Exile,
Yeah.
trying
like-
to create the
be like-
perfect dick pic.
Be like,
That's
sorry,
what it
you
is.
start out with a garden snake. You got to get to the Cobra level. All right.
That's what it is. You are creating the perfect dick pic. There's over 24 photo filters to choose from.
Huh.
There's countless peniles to choose from. And
So- Like, is he
If- if-
serious? What was the guy's name, Watts?
Robert Yang.
Robert Yang. Is he serious? Like, he doesn't know why that got banned from Twitch?
No, I guess he more so wants the details. Like, I'm sure he knows.
Oh, so he
that-
can work around it, probably.
So he can work around
Work
it. Yeah.
around the
Like,
dick
what do you
pic.
want me to censor from a dick pic? The whole thing? Can I have
The
some
dick,
hair shown?
probably.
Yeah. So
my God.
Wait, his name is Robert Wang? It's Dick Wang?
Yang.
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 Yang. Oh, okay.
He
Yang.
should have changed it to Robert Wang.
That would be better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Google
This
these
episode will not
these
be
at your own risk. But there's a whole texting thing. Like you text the person back and forth, and then you send a dick pic,
Yeah.
and you get to create
You get
your own.
the
penis.
perfect time to send it, right? You don't want to send it too early, but you also don't want to send it too late. You don't want
It's
to
like-
hold out.
Listen, it's like using your super in a video game. You know, timing's everything. You don't want to pop your super too early. You waste it, right? You got to
Your
prep.
super,
You
send
got
it
to.
a dick.
You got to have the battlefield prep for the perfect time to use a super, and then boom, you unleash the cobra.
Dick pic.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. There's also one game that I was pretty disappointed got banned because this is definitely a Briar Rabbit video game, and it is called Genital Jousting.
Ooh, sounds
Nice.
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know the worm game, the worm where you like try and make the worm bigger and you trying to eat other worms.
Yes.
Worm.io or something it's called.
Yeah,
yeah.
It's basically that, but everything looks like a penis instead of just like a regular worm.
I love it.
So
I'm gonna play it immediately.
Do the penises eat other penises to become bigger penis?
There's actually seems to be a lot of modes in this story mode.
Because genital
genital
jousting
jousting.
sounds like a fight game, you know, like stick
Yeah.
fighter, but
Or
genital.
There's
like
also-
joust, but you're a dick.
There's a part of the game where they're like in cubicles at an office. I don't really know what's going on there.
And their dicks?
Whoa.
Yeah.
What was the name of that game
Office
where
dicks.
you start off as a small ball and like you could absorb
That's literally what Watts
balls
just
to
said.
become bigger.
Yeah, I think that's the worm game.
That was worms? I thought okay.
Well, it's like
I was thinking
There's a
of
penis playing a saxophone outside of a bus stop.
Saxophone penis?
Yeah, he's playing a saxophone. This game, you know, yes, they look like penises, but generally it seems pretty wholesome
A wholesome phallic situation.
compared to the rest of these games on the list.
They're
kinda
Twitch
depressing.
should have like a not safe for work section to play a game
see,
like
this
that.
is actually exactly what Robert Yang was saying. He
Yeah.
was saying that how about Twitch just creates this prohibited game section and you have to, you know, confirm your age or whatever the hell to get in there. Instead of just outright banning every game. Because again, yeah, like a game like Genital Jousting is very different to stalking children and then touching them. Very, very different. Different
Yes.
games.
Yeah.
One should for sure just be banned, and that's it. One is kind of fun and just silly, and maybe it has a place in a banned section.
I am on team Dick Wang. And this seems like a completely reasonable platform to
Robert
be standing
Wang.
on.
Robert Yang. He wants to summit the mountain of perfect dick pic-dom.
Yeah, well, that's that's not
Join
even
the
that's not
Cobra
it's
Club.
not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. People send dick pics. It's now just a game about dick pics.
Oh man.
You can get Genital Jousting on Steam. It's part of the Humble Bundle.
I was
it's in the Humble
asking you
Bundle.
guys, maybe chat will know. There used to be, I think it was called Climb Your Friends or something, where you played like a dude with like swinging arms and swinging legs, and you had to climb your friends, and like whoever could get to the top or whoever could climb up the highest won. And the only thing that was rude about it was that one of the swinging appendages was a penis, right? But it was like all the characters were naked except they were wearing Mount Your Friends. That was what it was called. All the characters were wearing like Speedos, but their package was flinging about, and it made it just hilarious. Like it just looked hilarious. And I don't know, is that one banned? Is that on
No.
the banned list?
No,
It's not.
not banned.
Oh, so we could play that right now.
You can
if we
play
wanted
Mount
to.
Your Friends.
Beautiful.
That's totally fine.
Beautiful. I can't wait. DCP game night. Mount Your Friends.
There's also Robert Yang also has another game that's banned on
Really?
Twitch.
Mhm.
He
Surprising.
is the hero of the video game world.
Yeah.
This one's called Rinse and Repeat, which is a first-person showering game about giving a hunk a helping hand.
Oh, I like that. It teaches good showering technique. You
Yeah.
know, like
It's
You gotta-
it's bro-friendly hygienics.
right. Look,
And at the
who
end,
hasn't washed one of their same-sex friends when in a pinch? You know, like Sometimes you got a shoulder injury, you can't reach back. You got to help them out, right?
You got a little dust in the crack. Need a little rinse out.
That's right. Not all of us have a bidet.
And this game actually does censors all of the genitalia. So this one, I think, could not be banned, but it is banned. Essentially, you just see a naked man in a shower, but you don't see any of his stuff. You see more nudity in Ghost of Tsushima, seeing Jin's butt in this game.
And a fine butt it is.
It's banned.
I had to see a lot of Ghost of Tsushima butt this week because I wanted the naked assassin skin for multiplayer, and the way to get that is to go to all the hot springs. So I was just like mainlining his butt for basically 3 hours.
So it begs the question about Cyberpunk. You know, there's like the like, is Cyberpunk going to be banned in certain parts, or is parts of the game going to be banned? Like there. You know how like they say with Witcher or Witcher 3, you could stream it, but if you keep replaying a certain part, a certain unicorn, then you're gonna get banned.
Yeah, it's very confusing with stuff like that because they say like it's okay to show nudity if you don't focus on the nudity. So it's like, what do I do? Do I just like, if I'm looking the other way and I'm like, well, clearly my monitor's not the ceiling.
I try and think of my like grandmother or something when I'm trying not to focus on the nudity.
It's very obscure because in Cyberpunk you can customize your own genitals, right?
Yeah, they have an endowment slider, right?
So doesn't that, you're pretty focused on the old genital customization if you're customizing it.
Right. There's no not looking at it.
So what's the appropriate amount of time to be in genital customization?
Yeah. Are you going to add a tattoo? Is there going to be a piercing? Like, what's, the
How
situation?
much hair are we talking? Is it a robot?
Right?
I don't know.
Yeah, maybe you got like a full-on metal dong.
Maybe.
Cyber Dongs 2077.
I will say the funniest part about rinse and repeat is the person that you are showering and bathing gives you a rating out of 100% when you're done.
Oh, like a Yelp review?
Interesting.
Yeah.
Are they rating you based on how clean they are or how much pleasure they received while being bathed? Or is it like a 2-part score? Like there's
I think it's probably
graphics,
a 2-part.
sound, and fun factor.
Because they tell you to wash their back softer
Like
or harder.
You got a vibe check also in there?
Yeah, probably. I think so. So, yeah, all those games that have nudity in it, I don't know. I don't know how it's going to go. There's a couple games on this list where I feel like they probably could be played, like genital jousting. The whole game with the masturbation thing is just silly. You don't see anything. It's just there's masturbation in it, which is maybe bad, but it's not violent. It's not aggressive. It's not illegal.
It's kind of funny.
It's funny. It's on the lighter side. Yeah.
I think
it's like a.
I was gonna say, I think the same thing with Porn Tycoon. It's like if they're not actually showing, pornography, then it's like, well, yeah, it's about the subject of making porn, but it's not specifically like showing that content. It's kind of silly to ban.
I wonder if Twitch's ad system got more complex or more like sophisticated, if they could just say, okay, this is not safe for advertisers, because that's really what's going to be behind this, right? Is like advertisers aren't going to want their advertising money going to somebody masturbating under a blanket on the screen, right? You don't want like
Ford.
You don't want a Coca-Cola splash ad, come up while somebody's jerking
True. Very true.
I think you're 100% correct on that. And it's unfortunate that essentially what we can stream is dictated by how profitable. Dictated. Boom. How profitable it's going to be based on advertisers, which is already like super low for Twitch streamers. Like the ad revenue.
True. Yeah, ad revenue is not great.
Yeah.
YouTube has kind of figured this out, right? It's like now you can pretty much tell YouTube what kind of content you've made and how safe it is for advertisers, which I think is actually a pretty good way. Like you can actually, over time, YouTube will learn to trust you as well. So like once you start doing it, like it goes to review. But then if you categorize it correctly, like over and over again, like it doesn't have to go to review anymore.
Yeah.
Twitch could use something like that where, like, yeah, I'm going to stream something that advertisers, not advertiser friendly.
Yeah.
But like, let me do it. Like, I'm I'm not saying like the rapey stuff. Like leave that off. That doesn't need to be there.
Yeah.
But like, you know, like a stealth game where instead of like, you know, like killing people, you're masturbating. That's hilarious.
It's funny. Yeah, you can watch it on YouTube. It's totally fine. It's still there on YouTube. So yeah, there's a couple games. Genital jousting. Yes, it's a penis, but it's just silly and kind of a good time.
Yeah.
What's under your blanket? Same kind of thing. So it's been an interesting research.
It's
project.
weird with Twitch. Like again, the advertising thing makes the most sense, but Twitch itself has been strange over the past. Like I feel like ever since Amazon took over, there's been just a strange incongruence of what goes and what doesn't, and the way they like handle people who get banned, and some people don't get banned for stuff where you're like, huh? How is this even a discussion? You know, so it's weird. I don't know. It's almost like there's different rules for different people and things that happen on Twitch right now.
Oh, definitely.
Right? Yeah.
And
definitely.
that actually could lead into the conversation about the DMCA stuff.
Oh, right.
That's been going on Twitch, because that's also super inconsistent. And an article came out. So something was handed over to, I believe it was Variety. And it was a bunch of music organizations. Where's the list? The American Association of Independent Music, Americana Music Association, Artist Rights Alliance, Church Music Publicists Association, Christian Music Trade Association, Global Music Rights, Global Music Association. Like a lot of companies to do with music sent a letter to Amazon directly to Mr. Bezos himself and the CEO of Twitch.
Big Bezos.
And they said that, so Twitch announced a new tool called Soundtrack, which is the thing where you're supposed to be able to play music, but it takes it off your VODs. So you don't have any issues of copyright. It's all licensed music, all that good stuff. And that was kind of their Twitch's solution to the copyright issue. But it turns out that the service lacks deals with all three major companies, as well as many publishers and right holders for the songs that are a part of that program. So they sent this massive letter. I know. And saying so I'll read it. We represent artists, songwriters, musicians, vocalists, managers, producers, audio engineers, major and independent labels, and publishers, and many other professionals in all genres of the music industry. We read with interest Twitch's recent announcement regarding its soundtrack tool. According to Twitch, this tool gives Twitch's users the ability to feature a curated library of licensed music in their live streams. We appreciate that Twitch has acknowledged that it is a good business to offer licensed music for use by its streamers, and we welcome that Twitch has started to enter into some agreements with right holders to provide licensed music for its streamers. However, we are confounded by Twitch's apparent stance that neither cinch nor mechanical licenses are necessary for its soundtrack tool. They have no licenses for the soundtrack tool, like at all.
This blows.
And this
my mind.
How did this happen? Like, I would love to know. Like, did somebody just
drugs.
drop the ball?
Drugs were involved. They had to have been.
Look, I've been on drugs. I've never fucked up like this.
If you're on a cocktail of narcotics, maybe you let the contract slip on some of the things for your project.
I don't understand the hate on drugs. Drugs are not responsible for everything bad in the world. Some things are good because of drugs.
I can't believe this. This is just crazy. I mean, this is such a problem right now for Twitch, and for them to drop the ball on this so hard, to be like, oh, we made a tool, but turns out we didn't actually get any licenses for the tool. Like,
that's why people who've been using it are getting DMCA'd, because there's no license
I'd be
for it.
ripshit if that happened to me.
Yeah, it just I can't believe it.
But in all honesty, if you are using any music in any of your content, you should know that you are highly at risk. Even in-game music can get copyright claimed. That even if the game that it is in has licensed that music for streaming, that may be like a 2 or 3 year deal that when it goes up, you may get a copyright claim because of it. I've had that happen plenty of times.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah, I've had things that were fine for like 3-4 years, and then 4 or 5 years later, oh, you have a copyright strike on this video because there was a radio playing in the background of this one scene.
Yeah, it's really weird. I mean, I've been having this conversation about the difference between YouTube and Twitch, and then flipping it back 5 years ago in 2015. And 2015, Twitch was like this place that like just felt like they were figuring the solutions out, and it felt more tight knitted, even though it possibly wasn't. But it just felt that way to me in 2015. It felt like YouTube was kind of going off the rails and like just flailing, and what's the algorithm, it's promoting this, and like you're gonna get a copyright strike over anything, you just don't know. There was a chocolate bar in there, oh, suddenly copyright because you put a chocolate bar or something. Like, just, it was strange and made no sense. And now 5 years later, I feel like YouTube has matured, and again, it's not perfect. I'm not saying it's perfect platform or anything like that, but the algorithm actually makes sense now. If you make quality content on YouTube, you will get recommended, and it will rise with like the metrics and all that. And they figured out a lot of those copyright situations now. Like a lot of songs, if you, like with the covers, if you cover a song back in the day, they would they'd notice a cover, and then you just wouldn't make any ad revenue, or you might even get flagged. But mostly it was just you wouldn't get ad revenue. Nowadays, you can actually get ad revenue splits on a lot of covers that you do, because YouTube has taken the time to figure out the legalities of this stuff and strike deals with the mechanical owners and the publishing owners, because that's what they have to do.
That's what you have to do.
Yeah, you have to talk to the people that own the publishing and the actual physical recording, like, and get like that stuff figured out. And the thing is, this is old media that we're talking. Like, that stuff made sense when, you know, radio stations and selling physical copies and all that. We're in new territory with so much streaming content and like digital consumption. They have to figure out new tools for this stuff, you know?
Yeah. But they do have to protect the artists as well. Like, you know, an artist who makes a song deserves some profit if you're going to play that song and make profit. You know, like I really think that if I'm going to put a Tefty song, a Tefty and meme song, like as a backdrop for like a video that I'm making, even if I don't reference that, and it's just the backdrop while I'm talking about like TVs or something, then I truly believe that there should be some kind of profit. Like, you made that song, so I used it in a place where I made profit. Like, I truly believe that there should be like a profit sharing kind of thing with that.
Where these laws make sense is when companies have big budgets and they're using your material. So if Budweiser decided to just take take an artist's song and place it in there without paying them, like, what the crap? That sounds awful, right? They should owe them money, or they should negotiate the deals, and that's how a lot of that money is generated on the mechanical side. The actual recording side is licensing those to TV shows, films, advertising, like campaigns and stuff. Like, there's very big money in that, you know, like to the tune of sometimes $100,000 and all that for big stuff. So that makes sense for the copyright laws to protect those things. But if you as a streamer play, you know, Blackpink or something, like if you take a song that's very popular right now and play it on a stream, you're not like running away with $100,000 budget for that stream to play the song. You know what I mean?
No, but what I am doing is I'm using your work to entertain my viewers.
Right, but it's the same type of thing with the games. Like, does that in that logic, we should technically be acquiring a license for streaming games. You know what I mean? So
that's technically correct, and you should be, and it is kind of there in the user agreement of games, right? Is like you are allowed to play these games on YouTube and on Twitch because the companies allow it, because they know that it's increasing the awareness of those games and probably increasing the sales.
And that's what it is.
I don't think that really works with music as much as it does with a game. Like, I don't think that anybody's going to hear, like, if I play the full soundtrack of Hamilton on my stream, like the entire thing, I don't think I sold any copies of Hamilton, right?
You don't know that.
I don't know that, but it doesn't feel like the same kind of thing. It feels like I just played the entire soundtrack of Hamilton on my stream and then made a profit from it.
From my personal experience, I've had lots of people ask what song is being played when I'm streaming.
Yeah,
and
I have too.
Exclamation
I used
song,
to have
Right.
I used to have like a thing on the bottom of the screen that would actually say it because I guess I got answering the question all the time.
Yeah. What's happened is there's a massive blurring that's happening between the consumer, the viewer, and the advertiser, and there has to be a new approach to looking at this stuff because more and more digital content's being made exponentially, and you can't treat it like old media was in the past. There has to be new ways of looking at this stuff. And unfortunately, that does mean that like the revenue model has to change as well in how these things are collected. Again, if there's a huge budget involved for a company like Budweiser or something, then it makes sense that they have to go and acquire those licenses for those big things. But if it's someone just streaming, does it really like make sense that, or is it hurting Led Zeppelin that their songs are being streamed on someone's stream? You
Probably not. It may even be helping them.
Exactly.
But they haven't licensed you that music. They haven't like said you can use our artwork to make profit for yourself. They haven't come out and said that.
I know, and
maybe that's the thing that needs to change, right? Because maybe there needs to be some type of change in that regard. Because as we just said, the reason we can play games on Twitch and YouTube, the reason we can play those games is because companies actually put now in their, guidelines of all that stuff and agreements that you can do that. You can stream it and you can make money from it. It's totally fine. Not a big deal. So the gaming industry's kind of shifted in that way, although I did have a very long conversation and an interesting conversation with Tomo about that and how maybe that also needs to change in the future, because especially games like story games, right? Mm-hmm. Where maybe someone won't go and play a very linear story game after watching you play it. Maybe they won't. But like a multiplayer game, they probably will, because they're not going to have the same experience in Smash Bros as you're having. Mm-hmm. So maybe there's a conversation there of, well, are you actually making more money for me when it comes to single player games? It's a whole situation that I think the world for both music and gaming and people using that content on their streams and videos is, I think a lot is going to change eventually.
Well, it needs to. There's technically no laws to handle this situation right now. And they're just relying on companies saying, in the game industry, they're relying on companies being like, yeah, it's fine, because clearly we're actually making money in the long run from this stuff. And I think the same is for the music as well. I think most companies make more in the long run as opposed to the immediate of needing a license. Like if you go and start charging people, $500 a month for like a license or something to be able to stream all of the Universal Music catalog, like I think it's going to be more of a turnoff unless people are going to stream those songs and rely on other sources. Like take Nintendo as an example. Nintendo put a huge restriction on their stuff early, like late 2000s, early 2010s, and it made a bunch of people shy away from doing anything Nintendo related. And then they're like, we got to change this because less people are streaming these games or playing these games for that content, and they see the value of what promotion can be. You
had to sign up with Nintendo to become a Nintendo creator, and then it was like a profit sharing where
it was like a 10%.
They would take a percentage of whatever you made while you were playing a Nintendo game.
There needs to be laws.
Isn't unfair if you ask me, but I'm not going to do it because there's tons of other games that I could do it. I could stream or play.
That's the thing, right? And this is a conversation so me and Tomo, after the tweet from the Stadia guy, we talked about it a lot. And it's a conversation of, so it's something I hadn't even thought about. He said, now there's not a whole lot of like single A or double A studios around. You have like triple A, massive $100 million a day budget kind of games, or you have indie games. And he said that, a lot of that is because it's not really profitable for those mid-tier companies to do it anymore. You spend so much money keeping a studio like Bungie alive every day, right? Mm-hmm. I think $100 million probably wouldn't even keep them going for like a week. And there's not many studios that can get to that point. And games are becoming so expensive to make because people expect, the crazy, like the cyberpunk games. We are getting to the point where that's something that's kind of expected in gaming. Yeah. That a lot of companies can just never reach that level. They can't get the funding for that. Mm-hmm. So it becomes very interesting as to what's going to happen to the gaming industry with copyright and all of that? Are they going to have to start doing what Nintendo did? But maybe it's a game industry wide thing that happens.
That's a sad conversation all around, because if there's less like smaller games, there's less risk being taken. If every game is a $500 million gamble, then you want to gamble on sure bets. So you're going to get less stuff like Ghost of Tsushima. You're going to get more stuff like Assassin's Creed.
There's always going to be indie developers though making stuff, because like
there's always indie. Indie can definitely still happen.
Yeah, Among Us is an example of like a runaway success.
Yeah, just
like Stardew Valley and all that. Those games inspire tons of other developers to bet the farm on trying to make the next huge, like sudden runaway hit on that type of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, indie studios definitely.
It's like that B tier though, that is not common anymore.
Kind of.
It's like we're not a huge studio like Bethesda. Yeah, I think Senua Sacrifice is a great example.
Yeah.
It's
just not that many of those around anymore. There used to be a ton of them, right? Like,
it used to be most of the industry really was kind of that mid tier, and now you have some. Of course, there's going to be some that can definitely do it, but there's definitely like that AAA $1 billion game, and then the indie studios is what's happening. So it's an interesting look at how games are going to be in the future with getting these crazy budgets that they have, and you obviously have to sell a lot of games in order to make that back.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of games, like the reason for their success is based off of, people streaming them or doing YouTube videos. Like a lot of people credit Minecraft's success to CNanners getting a hold of that game and like showing it to his, hundred thousands of fans, right? And like also, and that game took off. Fall Guys, there's tons of games like this, right? PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. How many games were a success because they were streamed or shown on YouTube?
So I want to tie that into the music side as well. There is a lot of potential success stories from people's music careers because of getting the right type of deal. And now back to like the licensing for TV shows and all that. They obviously paid for the licensing on the TV show, but there's a lot of cases, a lot of artists that have blown up because they were on a season finale episode of a show, and suddenly it's like, everybody loves this. They love this song. They got to have the song. They got to hear more of it. They become instant fans. That's happening today with YouTube channels. Certain YouTube channels using types of music that get people going, dude, I love this. I need to know who's making this and where can I get more of it. And that starts careers, or actually like propels them and all that. It's just the things in place right now from a legal standpoint don't make sense for where we're at today in 2020. And the bridge between that is companies like Twitch and Amazon understanding the nuances and then coming up with plans on how to deal with that. So like everybody can essentially be happy for the most part. I mean, there's still going to be times when like somebody doesn't want their music being used on something, and there should be ways to enforce that, obviously. But
yeah, we see that a lot with like Trump rallies, right? It's like he uses an artist and then they're like, wait.
Yeah, they're like,
I don't want my music associated with you.
Yeah, exactly. So they obviously need laws like that in place, but they also need to not slap someone with like 100 viewers with a DMCA for using, song. It's like,
it's a thing is
Twitch who are you hurting,
Twitch is on a lot of topics, seems to just want to bury their head, do the bare minimum, and protect Twitch. And if that means deleting, because the email that we got for the DMCA stuff was, we've automatically deleted the content that had DMCA'd, so you don't need to worry about it. But on YouTube, there are so many times where a false DMCA happens. There'll be an artist who made the song and it will get claimed by some company. And because YouTube has put in the work, although it was a very treacherous road to get there, they put in the work to get a system where people can say, hey, no, look, I own this. Then that copyright abuse, it happens, but at least you have a way to fight back. With Twitch, if a copyright abuse happens, your stuff just gets deleted and they don't tell you what it was.
They're like,
you can't fight it.
Back that shit up, yo.
Yeah, they're like, they just whisper. They're like, DMCA. And you're like, huh?
And then it's gone.
That's it.
And it's the same thing. Honestly, it's the same thing with Twitch and harassment that happens on their platform. Instead of putting in protocols and ways to protect people and, systems that people can go through to get help and be protected and kept safe, they don't do that. They just lawyer up, put up this giant wall, and they're like, protect the Twitch company. We don't care about creating things to make you safe or make you not have DMCA'd or understand even the rules of what you can and cannot stream.
That's so frustrating. Is to not know the rules, right? To see some people get banned for something while you know another person has been doing it for, nightly for a year. Like, why is this? Or to not know why somebody was banned, right?
Yeah.
Like, I think this is big with the Dr. Disrespect ban. Why did he get banned? Like, are there
Still
other
don't
people
know.
doing what he did? Is it because of
Right.
something he did on Twitch? Is it because of something he did off of Twitch? Like, why? I think it's important to know that.
He played
stuff.
Spank It Blanket.
Like, but did he do it online? Did he do it in public? Like, where exactly was he playing Spank It Blanket?
No, he just streamed the game.
Did he do it in a bathroom while he was live streaming? I don't know.
It is absolutely insane that you can like this. Twitch needs to realize this is people's jobs. It's not just a hobby that people do on the side anymore. It's a business, it's a job, and it should be respected and treated as such. And to just have that taken away and you not give any explanation, there's no back and forth, is real weird. It's real weird.
It's extremely
Tefty's,
weird.
You mentioned that the feel of Twitch just doesn't feel the same as it used to.
It feels like 2015 YouTube to me.
Yeah, you're right about that.
It's very strange for me to realize that, but I'm like, man, it's so strange with the way the company is like responding to stuff and all that. I'm just like, huh? Every day it's like, huh, Twitch?
They need to make a change, because if they don't start internally working on these things, you're going to have the law step in and then they're going to force you to, and no one wants that to happen. You want to be able to create things on your own terms without the law stepping in.
You want to see it turn into a real mess. Let the lawmakers get involved.
Yeah, exactly.
And it will happen. It will happen.
But the thing is, they need to figure out the legalities of this stuff in 2020 with so much online digital media. Like, it's very important that we figure this stuff out soon, because you're just going to have a bunch of heartbreaking confusion happen from these companies just dealing with old world media.
So I know that I don't think Twitch is super duper profitable. I think it makes a lot of money, but I don't think it's super profitable. I think Prime subs probably, they're regretting that. They're probably regretting the Prime sub situation, because that's a bunch of subs that could potentially just be extra money that you get. But however, if Amazon worked with like their Prime Music, or they cut a deal to do with Prime Music or something for the streamers on Twitch, the partner streamers, you'd probably have to make it partners or something like that. It is an upfront cost, but imagine how many more people would be streaming on Twitch and going to Twitch if they knew that they could use their favorite artist music. I think in the long term, it ends up being a better business solution for them. But I really do feel like Twitch does a lot of these short-term business decisions of just protect the thing right now, don't think about the future.
Well, like this whole thing where they didn't get the license for this curated playlist.
Yeah, that's crazy. Hell? Like, how did that's clearly a mistake on somebody's part. Like, somebody fucked up.
The whole thing was DMCA problems. Let's create a tool where streamers can stream licensed music that we've made for them in this curated thing, and they did it.
Yeah. And then the actual music companies are like, excuse me? You didn't talk to us. That's insane.
It is insane.
Yeah.
I love Twitch. Twitch is great and does a lot of really cool things and has really good features for streamers. But they really need to think about their future of the business, unless they want it to crash and burn and be taken to court and sued and all sorts.
They've been investing in their platform, but in like the wrong areas. Wasn't there a thing where they're trying to cut into people's donations now, even though there's already bits?
Yeah,
they got bits already, which bits are fine.
Yep.
They're cool. It's a 1-to-1 thing for streamers for the actual bit value. But then they added, what is it called? I forget. It's Celebrate. They added a feature called Celebrate, and it's in between the follow and the subscribe button, and it's to pay money, and Twitch gets half of it to then celebrate something on the channel, which makes the whole web page
really weird,
like sparkle with stuff.
I was real sorry to see Mixer shut down, because it seemed like there may be a real competitor for Twitch And I thought that was really a good thing, right? It's like if two companies have real competition between each other, then would they have to fight for features? They have to fight for users. They have to fight for creators. Like they have to innovate. They have to, they really have to, work to earn their spot in the world. But now Twitch, I mean, you can say YouTube is a competitor, and they definitely are. You can say Facebook is a competitor. I don't really think they are. I wouldn't even, I don't touch Facebook with a stolen computer. Like, I don't want anything to do with Facebook. But like losing Mixer was a real bummer because, like,
I feel like they put pressure
without
on Twitch.
that competition. Look at where YouTube is. Like, YouTube has no competition. Whatever YouTube says goes, right? And like you have no repercussion if something happens with your YouTube account or like anything like that.
It's true.
And
but
Twitch
again,
is going to end.
But again, they've gotten out of the weeds. They were in the angsty teenage years, and they finally matured. It feels like, anyways, into what it is today. And I feel like Twitch is now going through angsty teenage years, where they're like, I don't want to do that, man. I don't want to get
YouTube is better than it was. It's still dangerous because it's the only service of its kind on the internet. And if you have a problem there, you have no repercussion. Like if you, for some reason, get banned from YouTube and you don't understand why, or you think it was bullshit, right now with the political climate, they can just say, we don't like what you're saying. It's a private platform. Get off.
Yeah. Well, that's another subject about all the laws that need to be handled for whether or not people can just say whatever and then promote it on the social platforms, But I guess it's kind of part of the same stuff. It's like with an open platform, you have these issues come up, and some companies, they don't like that. Other companies do. I don't know. It's a tough one.
It's unprecedented time across the board.
It is, yeah.
With all of these things.
It's an exciting time.
It could go really well or real bad.
Yeah. What I was going to say about that feature, that Celebrate feature, I guess the reason why I brought that up was because I feel like Twitch is innovating in the wrong areas right now. Like, you look at YouTube, you can stream at 4K with a high bit rate. Twitch just seems to...
dirty to me.
Yeah, Twitch seems to refuse to update their infrastructure to support that. Maybe it's because their users are just, astronomically higher in comparison. But I kind of refuse to believe that. I mean, YouTube is like insane. YouTube is technically the world's largest search engine at this point in comparison to all the people streaming on Twitch, like they're doing upgrades that are not really benefiting the platform specifically. They need to put more time into that. So like the licensing with music, the understanding how to handle people being banned and what they're banned for and all that. And then also the infrastructure of how it's being streamed, support higher bit rates and codecs and all that.
Twitch seems to be all about, like, it seems like there's an order coming down from Amazon saying, make money, justify your existence, make money. And that's what I feel like Twitch is at right now. It's like, if we want to keep this thing running, we have to make money. And that's kind of hard to figure out for them right now.
Yeah, it's the trend that we see with everything, right? Putting random mid-roll ads, like trying to get people to do more ads manually. The Celebrate feature, it's all saying we're not making enough money. We need to make some money.
Yeah. Like if you don't make money, where's Twitch?
Yeah. No, it's true.
It's not.
They got to pay.
It's not a startup anymore. It's owned by Amazon. Amazon is the the biggest company in the world or whatever. I don't know how big they are. They're fucking rich though, and they like making money. They don't like pouring money down an endless hole.
Yeah, I mean, they got to pay their power bill. They got to pay their internet bill. It costs a lot of money to run those server farms and all that. But
Jeff Bezos doesn't give a shit about your stream.
Doesn't care about mine. No, it's true. Maybe someone needs to buy Twitch. We're in times that no one has figured out because this has not happened before. Essentially, anyone in the world can upload their own TV show at any given time. It's like everyone has the opportunity to have their own TV show. This has never happened before. It's awesome, and things need to get figured out to make it work as a business.
Yep.
YouTube videos have more viewers than TV shows on like network television. It's crazy. but all the advertising goes to network television. It's like, well, why is that? That's weird. All the eyeballs.
I think that's just, like a holdover. It's going to be changing pretty soon.
Yeah. Microsoft is going to buy Twitch and call it Twixer.
Twixer, yeah.
God, I was sad that Mixer shut down. It seemed like such a setup with the Xbox Series X coming out, Twitch or Mixer integration. Like they could put it right in the dashboard. Like they could have made Mixer something good. It's too bad that they just kind of shut it down.
Yeah.
Pornhub needs to buy Twitch.
In other news, I hit adventure rank almost 31 in Genshin Impact. Yeah. I also pulled Klee and Mona.
Wow.
Within, I think, 5 pulls.
Very nice.
So
that's some good stuff. 30 is where things start getting interesting. Then 35, you're like, ooh. Then you get to 40, you're like, oh.
Where are you at right now?
I'm 42.
42.
Yeah.
Spicy. Yeah. Yeah, I've been enjoying it.
We're looking forward to November.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and this week we're gonna play the raid for Ghost of Tsushima, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm leveling up my Ronin currently, so if we play, I'll just
get some heals.
Yeah, I have a fully leveled assassin and hunter, and then I figured I'm just gonna do a Ronin in case I need to do that. My hunter is strong.
Does your character level make any difference in that game, or is it just gear?
After you've unlocked the whole tree, I think you're good.
No difference. You're good.
I'd say so.
I'm looking forward to the raid. Fran was telling us the nightmare thing is kind of a pain in the neck this week. We're planning on doing that. We don't know when, right?
It looks fun.
It's tough.
I don't care how it was fun. I was watching Tefty and I was like, "Oh, I want to join you guys."
Man, it is nonstop. It's like mentally exhausting. Got to round couldn't beat round 20 twice on Nightmare.
Do you get Nightmare level rewards if you don't beat it all the way?
I don't know, but supposedly the drops are higher, but I'm assuming that's for every drop. It technically is Nightmare level a drop on there.
Because Nightmare can drop up to 110, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, but
I've actually re-rolled some of my gear to make it 110.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can re-roll. It keeps on bumping it up all the way up to 110.
Are you guys 110? Because I'm only like 104.
104.
Brian, we gotta play.
God,
we gotta play. Look, Brian's heading into the raid with the lowest level one.
Again, as usual. I got kind of an interesting news story here. It might only be interesting to me, so just shut me up if you guys don't care.
If it's boring, I'll say, Brian, it's boring. Go, stop it.
You know that Destruction All-Stars game? That's a launch game for the PS5.
Is that the one where you're inside the car, but you can also be outside, and like the character design looked really cool. Like all the characters looked really interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I wouldn't say it's the game that people are looking forward to on the PS5 launch. But it's been delayed till February. And what I found interesting about this is a lot of people pre-ordered this game like as part of a bundle and stuff like that.
Oh.
So there's like a little bit of like, well, wait, what happens with that? Because I was expecting to get the game with my pre-order bundle. So if that game's not available, do I get to choose something else? Like how does that work? So I'm kind of interested to see what they're gonna do. Like, because that's up to the retailers, I would imagine, right? If a retailer put together a bundle like GameStop and this was in it, I wonder if they'll just ship it out in February when it becomes available, or if they'll do some kind of voucher where you can get something else instead. Boring, right? It's boring.
No, it's
boring topic.
It's
I
not
get it.
boring. It's interesting, right? When something's part of the launch lineup and it gets delayed, I don't even know what happens there. Because has that really ever happened?
Yeah, is your PS5 tied up with this pre-order? That's what you're saying?
No, I don't think so. I think they would still ship out the PlayStation.
Oh,
but
maybe they could ship out the PlayStation with like $70 just tucked in there.
Oh, that'd be cool.
I would assume that you just have like the pre-order for that game still chilling.
It just stays open and they send it to you. But if it's part of a bundle, like, can you cancel that pre-order? Because you'd be canceling the bundle. Yeah. And God knows nobody's canceling any pre-orders for. Like, I still see people like I still haven't gotten a PS5 pre-order. Like people who really could use them for work, you know. But Sony says they're making as many as they can, but I don't think there's going to be that many out there.
I don't think so either.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I will say it because chat is going to kill us if we don't. But the game is going to be on PS Plus for PS Plus members in February when it comes out
for free.
Oh,
so essentially it's a free game. Essentially.
So why would you buy it for $70?
Maybe they just announced it. Maybe it was delayed and they're like, okay, we're just gonna give it away. PlayStation Plus. It's fine.
That's so messed up. It'll be available sometime in February 2021, and it'll be available for 2 months at no additional cost to members of PS Plus.
Wow.
So now it's actually going to be a free game
that you're paying for.
That I'm paying for.
It's basically Genshin Impact. It's a free game that you're paying money for.
That I'm paying $70 for.
Mm-hmm.
It's like playing Destiny.
Yeah.
It's a free-to-play game that I
play all you want until you start spending money on it.
There was a lot of Godfall news, but I think we probably want to wait for Eric's to be here because Eric's has
I can't wait for this game.
This is what I'm saying. So weird, right? Just when they actually show the game themselves, people aren't getting that excited. But then all the little interviews they do and the articles that they put out are getting people really excited. But if you don't have that initial interest in the game, you're probably not going to read an article about the progression in the game or the end game or customization. But it looks real good.
Yeah. I was hoping Eric's would be here because he's done a couple of videos in the last couple of weeks about it. And what I really want to know about this game is how does it feel?
Mm-hmm.
Like, tell me it feels amazing to play because everything else is nailing like a pleasure zone, right? It's like you talk about the loot system, you talk about the world, you talk about the lore, everything about it. Like graphically, it looks stunning to me. I know a lot of people say it looks boring. I think it looks amazing.
It doesn't look boring to me.
It doesn't look boring. Yeah.
The only thing is it fun to swing your sword or your axe? You know, like
that's my biggest concern.
Fun?
Yeah. After playing Ghosts, like if it doesn't feel like Ghosts, I'm gonna be like, oh, the combat's not as good as being a badass samurai.
Yeah.
Like I really hope they nail it.
That's the thing. We will never know how it feels unless Eric's just says that it's great. Then I'll believe him. But they even
Eric's,
released
is a Jar Jar lover, so he's a bit suspect.
Wild card.
Wild card.
They even released the info on some of their endgame stuff, and one they call it a roguelite game mode. But essentially, I would describe it as like a just like a horde mode or like Abyss in Genshin Impact or something like that. So you start with the idea is that you start on the bottom of this tower and you're climbing a tower kind of situation. And as you go, you get to pick which room you go in based on which equipment you need. And you can, as you're fighting, you collect keys to be able to open a chest. But if you die, you have to start all the way from the beginning. So
like if I need a certain sword, I can go into a room to farm for that sword.
I think that's the general idea of the end game that I've seen so far. I've watched a couple videos on it. And I don't know. It just everything that they're saying. They also showed the skill trees this time around, and it's like just a grid. And you can start at any corner of the grid and then work up to wherever you want.
Yeah.
And you can also
respec it anytime.
Yeah. So everything they're telling me, and they say that it's the tinkerer's dream.
Oh god.
So everything they're telling me has me real interested.
My biggest fear is that I'm going to want to play this game as much as I want to play Destiny.
And Cyberpunk 2077.
Oh. God.
I think I'm going to love the game.
I think so too. I've been excited about this game since they first announced it a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or less than a year ago, but just less. And it's like, it just keeps getting more enticing to me. And the fact that it's also a launch game for a new console, like just ups it for me because I'm going to want to play with the new console. One of the interviews one of the developers did was he talked about like the new controller and how he's able to design like certain actions around like the haptics in the controller. Because this game is coming to PC as well.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm playing it on PlayStation 5 because I want to play with the new console. I want to check out this new controller.
Mm-hmm.
Like I just want that full console experience. And this game seems like it's really well placed to give it to me.
X gonna give it to you. I mean,
Briar's like,
PS5 is going to give it to you, not the X. Yeah, I'm excited about Godfall.
I want to play the game from the beginning too, because it's one of those games that I want to play right at the beginning. I don't want to get into it like a month later.
You know what's interesting though is I feel like on the internet right now, Godfall is the new Anthem to hate.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, is that profitable? Should I start making Godfall hate videos? I was saving it all up for Cyberpunk. I was gonna make all the Cyberpunk hate videos, but should I make some Godfall ones too?
What would be the catchphrase? You know, we got Cyber Sucks 2077.
The fall of Godfall.
Godfall sucks.
Fallen
I feel like that just universally works, right? Type in any game sucks, and there's 100 videos about it, and they all got 100,000 views.
That's true. It is true.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that game. I'm looking forward to the launch of the new consoles, though. Like I'm relentlessly researching televisions because there's no need in my life for a 4K 120 hertz TV. There's no rational reason to buy one, but I'll probably buy one.
Gotta get it, man.
You know, I want to see Ori and the Will of the Wisps at 120 FPS. I want to see Master Chief Collection at 120 FPS. I want to see, Dirt 5. I love the Dirt games, the off-road racing games, the rally games. I love those games. I technically really like the VR versions better, but 120 FPS.
New console experience.
I'm excited. New hardware. I'm a nerd and I like new hardware.
Yeah. Yeah, same. I'm excited about it too. If I could find a Series X, I would definitely get it pre-ordered. I don't think that's going to be happening. And I'm in the same boat when it comes to a graphics card as well.
Yeah. Yeah, the stuff is hard to get, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I'd like to see, remember how PlayStation was doing that kind of like pre-order on their website, like apply for a pre-order, and like the people, like I would love to see companies start doing that. Like, hey, you've purchased our products in the past, you've been on our forum, you have like a big trophy score, you clearly play a lot of PlayStation. Like, let's prioritize these people over the scalpers. You put in your gamer tag on the Xbox, and it shows that, oh, this guy's been playing Xbox for 20 years. He's got he's got 2,000 hours in Halo. Let's prioritize his pre-order. Like that'd be amazing. I'm sure that's like super complicated to do, but I mean, in the world of AI and machine learning, I'm sure they could figure it out.
Yeah. And Spank It Blanket and Porn Tycoon.
This guy has 2,000 hours in Spank It Blanket.
It's something they're gonna have to figure it out. The world is gonna have to figure a lot of stuff out because all these bots and stuff with pre-orders, it's only gonna get worse.
Yep.
Maybe we should just ban computers. I think I'm onto something here.
Yeah, go back.
People might have been happier pre-computer.
Consoles only.
Consoles
only.
You're only allowed to have Word and Excel on your computer. That's it.
Yeah. A word processor. You can have a word processor with a little LCD screen on it.
Oh my gosh. Well, I think that's episode number 69, guys.
I think that is episode 69. We learned some things. I really thought that there were going to be some fun video games on that list, and there were, but the vast majority are just bad.
The bottom barrel of humanity.
There's no god of porn out there.
God of dong.
No.
Yeah.
Ghost of panties.
That sounds great.
Yeah, I'd play it.
Yeah. It's a ghost that's stealing panties.
Yeah.
Next week we'll be able to talk about
samurai sword.
our experience in the Ghost of Tsushima raid.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's hope we have positive things to say.
Let's hope so.
I can't believe you guys are 110. I thought I was doing good at 104.
I don't know if I'm 110, but I do have a couple 110 pieces from re-rolling.
Yeah, I'm close to. I think I'm like 107, 108. Somewhere around there. You'll get there, Briar.
We put some hours in.
You'll get there.
All right. Well, that is the episode. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Shout out to our Patreon members for supporting the podcast. collectively. All
Thank
the
you.
podcasts we have.
You guys are beautiful, and you
Yeah.
have really cool pants.
Yeah, great pants, and I'm sure
Where'd
your
you get those
shoes
pants?
go good with those pants too.
Those pants go great with the spanket blanket. They match.
Are those Jordache jeans?
Do we need to do a DCP spanket blanket? Sell it on
Oh.
the store.
Is there? Oh,
Oh
yeah,
my
merch.
God. That'd be great.
Yeah,
The spanket blanket.
yeah.
Super absorbent.
Microfluids.
like-
Machine washable.
It's like the cat litter that you don't have to scoop it. You just kind of mix it around and it gets rid of it all.
Mhm.
It's like that, but a blanket.
Suddenly there's a bunch of dudes eyeing that cat litter like, it's gonna be the solution of my problems.
Oh my God. I also want to thank our Twitch subs as well for subbing live while we're on the show here, live on Twitch. So thank you very much.
They have fancy slippers.
Yeah, your slippers are definitely fancy. Maybe, well, is there any fancy slipper Crocs, Briar, that you've come across and purchased?
Oh, heck yeah. Oh, man. Go to the Crocs website. There's a fashion for everybody. You got cloth top. You got leather top. Leather top. That's
top.
what's more fancy than a leather top Croc.
Is that
And a leather top Croc.
Is that? I thought Crocs have to be like molded plastic.
If it says Croc on it, that's Croc. If
You
it
just
says
need
Croc,
the general shape, and you need like the little back heel thingy, and then I think you're good.
The
the little
loop,
back strap
Yeah.
there.
little
Yeah,
loop-de-doo?
You need your little back strap.
Yeah.
All right, yeah. I'm nervous to go to crocs.com.
Oh, yeah.
I
You
think I'm
definitely
gonna
get on
go
a
there.
watch list.
Got to use a VPN, but also I'm nervous that I'm going to buy something. That's really this.
Turns out it's like 50% psychopaths that go to crocs.com.
Damn, that's a high amount.
Yeah, it's a really high percentage. It's like it just attracts them. I don't know why. Something about comfortable, breezy footwear.
Speaking
Just
of
attracts the psychopath.
speaking of crocs.com, where can people find you, Briar?
Probably at crocs.com. Perusing the backstrap selection. I actually just uploaded a video today talking about, of all things, 4K 60 FPS televisions. I did a whole video about it, but basically talk about how like it's probably not the best time to be buying one of these things, especially if it's like an upgrade from a 4K 60 television. But yeah, check out the whole video. It's on youtube.com/BriarRabbit.
Have you thought about doing Croc reviews on your channel?
I am now.
Can you get like a cushion meter?
I think that would be pretty funny.
Yeah.
It would be great.
Have a nice
Look at this
animation. Yeah, and like a comfortability recommendation, you know, like
How likely
I'm in.
people are to say, "Whoa, those are actually really nice Crocs," instead of "You're wearing Crocs."
Wait,
think,
why would that be a surprise to anybody?
think all the beauty shots you can get of the Crocs.
Oh my
You could
god,
do drones. Have you thought about using drones for your Croc videos?
Drone footage.
I could like do one of those like walking on glass things and you're shooting up at the bottom of the Croc.
Mm-hmm.
I'm already excited.
This sounds
you
great.
can do a lot with a Croc review.
You could. You really could. You could get the drone to see what it looks like as you're walking in your Crocs from above.
Yeah.
In case
Oh,
no one's
yeah.
looking at you from a building, you gotta know what it looks like.
Oh, you can do a Croc cam where you mount the camera on the Croc as you walk.
Action camera style, yeah.
How dirty does the camera get? Is a good indicator of how dirty your Croc's gonna get.
Yeah, because Crocs are self-cleaning, of course, as we all know.
Yeah. You just hose them down.
I miss 5,000 watts. You can find me on Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube. Just look for Miss 5,000 watts.
And I'm Tefty Teft. You can talk to me at Teft on Twitter and catch my streams twitch.tv/Tefty Teft. And hopefully I will resist the urge to go to crocs.com and buy a pair.
I'm
We'll
going
see.
right now.
Yeah. Don't do
If
it.
we ever are able to meet up
Peer
again,
pressure.
can we all take a picture of us wearing the Crocs together?
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
All right, that's the show. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you guys have a fantastic week. Is Retro Slot coming out? Do you have an episode tomorrow scheduled?
Yeah, tomorrow we are talking about a Sonic video game, which I need to play tonight because we need to talk about it tomorrow. I
Damn.
can't remember which one it was. Shit.
It's a Sonic game.
Life comes at you fast.
Awesome.
We got a lot to talk about. We're going to be talking about that new TurboGrafx 16 from Analog. That'll be a lot of fun. We got a lot to talk about, and we always have a good time talking about bullshit too. So
it's also firing range on Wednesday, where you can learn all about the new cones and what that means.
Damn, we're hitting on all cylinders this week at DCP, aren't we?
Back. Then we got DCP
we got a
live on
podcast
Thursday
every night,
except for Friday.
And then Friday we're doing the raid together. So kind of.
There it is.
It's DCP week.
It's a full.
It's like Shark Week.
Yeah.
But much more bloody.
But full of Crocs.
It's Croc Week.
Croc Week on DCP. Yeah, if you could ask Jay Sniperton his situation on Crocs, you know?
Yes,
just
I will.
I will
Can you have a Croc episode? Retro Croc?
I want to make sure he's Croc positive.
Croc positive and retro Crocs. All right, that's the episode. DCP number 69, Spank It Blanket edition. Thanks for watching. See you.
Be careful with your Spank It blankets. Do not expose your cat to your Spank It blanket. Get him out of the room first.
Pro tip.
You lose levels and have to start from the beginning if you get caught by the cat. You don't want to do that.
You don't want to lose. You don't want to lose XP.
What if the cat is sleeping on your Spank It blanket, but you need to spank it?
Tune in next week. We'll find out. Bye, everyone.
Bye.